Welcome to Noah's podcast. Noah Levine here to talk about the magic of summer camp. Imagine a place wrapped in serenity, where all of your worries are carried away. How about a secluded and peaceful haven among the mountains, where your only job is to play all day with friends? For many children all over the world, this experience changes their lives forever. Today, I will talk about my own personal experience at summer camp and how this magical place we call home for only 2 months out of the year can leave lasting impressions on us throughout our lives. This is Greg Silver. He's one of the admin here at Camp Baco, located in upstate New York, amidst the beautiful Adirondack Mountains. And he's in charge of creating the schedule every day and making sure things run smoothly. When I was first thinking about going to camp, Greg actually came to my house and paid me a visit to explain how wonderful it can be.
My name is Greg Silver. I'm the program director and head counselor at Camp Baco in the Adirondacks in upstate New York. I've been at Camp Baco since 1986. I started as a camper there for 9 years, and I worked as a counselor there around 2001 or so. I took on leadership roles to be the head counselor and the program director. So what I do during the summers is I make the daily schedule, which is scheduling all 200 campers and all, 60 or 65 staff members, bug counselors and activity counselors. I sort of take the lead on anything that has to do with programming, so transportation of kids in and out of camp, for hikes, for trips, for inter-camp games. Every single day at camp is different for me. So I deal with putting out fires, helping, kids get through issues, helping with staff development. And it's a 24/7 job.
So how do you think the camp experience can change children's lives for the better?
The reason why camp is so good for kids, at least our camp, is it creates a world where the kids can operate, where they can build self-confidence. So whether that's learning how to swim, whether that's via learning how to play basketball better or learning how to hike or be a star on the stage, whatever it is that the kid gets involved in, that's really not the point. It's that the kid is involved in something and that he learns the skills of that specific activity, but it's really deeper than that. It's more about building self-confidence and the ability to interact with others. The college-age counselors are probably the heartbeat of the camp because they inject the capacity for fun, the instruction, whatever the activity is, but most of all just the spirit and the humor that a place like that needs to not only survive but to thrive.
This is Max Levitt. He's in the same age group as me at camp, and we've grown up together ever since we were 10 years old. We've lived in the same bunks, had the same counselors, and heard the same stories.
I think that a camp experience can actually really change children's lives for the better. For starters, you get a lot more people skills. You're growing up with people, and naturally you're going to get into arguments or whatever, but you're going to learn that, people have emotions and different moods because they're in different predicaments and situations and worries in their lives.
This is Jake Rubin. Like Max, I met him when I was 10 years old in the summer of 2011. Stepping onto camp at first, I didn't know who these people were or who they would be, but we quickly became close because that's what camp does to people. That's the magic of camp. It creates friendships from people you would never think to meet in real life.
Hi, my name is Jake Rubin. I'm a sophomore at The Ohio State University, and this will be my 4th summer working as a counselor at Camp Baco. I'm typically a counselor for the junior division, so I'm typically working with the younger kids in the bunk.
How do you think the camp experience can change children's lives for the better?
A lot of ways. In particular, kind of just allowing them to grow as people. They're on their own, not with their parents, and they kind of have to learn how to fend for themselves just in terms of making their bed, their nighttime routine, stuff like that. Just eating healthy, just not having their parents around is good for the kids overall. And then also just like making new friends and getting out of their comfort zone.
This is Josh Potters. He's one of the older campers here at Camp Baco, and he's 14 years old. His experience has clearly shaped him.
I guess just make you more open to more things, because, like, I guess an example could be, majority of my best friends from camp I probably wouldn't be friends with in any other setting, or, like, at school or anything like that.
Camp can truly express passions and hone skills. Going into camp, I was always interested in the water. Growing up on my family's boat, we always traveled around to different marinas and had fun and met new people. When I got to camp, I expressed my passion even more as I became more advanced at water skiing, boating, and swimming. As of next summer, I'll be continuing my current position as a sailing instructor and a lifeguard. Can you discuss the impact that camp can have on your life in terms of creating passions and hobbies, as well as how camp can cause people to express themselves to others and to be their true selves?
Yeah, well, I think overall I would not be the person I am today without camp. The kids in my bunk are my best friends in the entire world. I'd definitely say a lot of my friends kind of have different interests than I do, and I would not be interested in certain things if it wasn't for them. And basically, like I said before, just getting out of your comfort zone. Our counselors would make us play games and stuff and do icebreakers that we wouldn't normally do. And basically just getting out of our comfort zone, we're kind of able to express ourselves in ways that we wouldn't be able to before.
You learn new things. I'm sure there's a lot of kids that never would have done ceramics or never acted on stage or played a musical instrument or gone on a hike or played tennis. So the actual exposure to activities, I mean, that's pretty black and white. But I think the key thing is as you grow up at camp, as you get older and become a counselor, you meet so many people that it gives you the opportunity to learn about those people and the things that they're interested in, and you sort of mooch off each other. By the time you get to the real world, the camp experience gives you something to fall back on, whether it be structure or creativity or ideas. And camp is, I don't want to say it's a perfect solution to those things, but it's pretty darn close.
You meet a lot of people from a lot of different places, and you kind of learn what they like to do, and maybe you can build off of that, or like they can teach you how to do things.
You can really express yourself without any fear of like any type of judgment, and that's one sort of safe space that camp can provide people. You don't have to worry about what other people are thinking of you. You can be weird or funny or whoever you want to be, and people will, actually give you props for being yourself. That's just one thing I love about camp.
Camp can truly create memories and forge strong friendships that will last for a lifetime. A fond memory I have is my bunkmates and I in the summer of 2017, our last year as campers. Running out onto the field to break color war, or as we fondly refer to it as Indian Olympics, I felt an overwhelming sense of happiness, accomplishment, and success. Our bunk was separated into 4 teams: Blackfeet, Apache, Cherokee, and Oneida. The first letters of the team spell Baco, the name of our beloved summer home. As we led the camp in the Olympics, we weren't just creating memories. We were actually preparing for the real world. We learned structure, responsibility for one another, and we learned teamwork. Although we were competing against each other all day, at night, in the bunk, we were all showing the same spirit: Baco pride. Along with the fun and games that camp offers, as well as its ability to cause creativity and expression, what are some ways that camp can prepare children for the real world in terms of responsibility, independence, leadership, and structure?
Camp taps a major artery of human need. It accesses something in our blood and in our brains that allows us to be the best version of ourselves. Camp is like a real life petri dish of learning how to deal with people. And that is probably the thing that opens the door for kids to do all the things that you mentioned, right? Leadership, structure. Nothing in the world comes as a surprise to them anymore, because they spent 10 years as a camper, figuring out where they put their shoes and figuring out how to wait for a friend and figuring out how to clean up after themselves and figuring out how to handle, unexpected social obstacles or unexpected physical obstacles in their way. The kind of stuff can't be created on purpose. It has to be natural. It has to be authentic.
Being a good counselor is so important to these kids, because if you provide them with the right tools of basically just how to go through your daily routine and teach them certain things, it goes a long way. And then these kids grow from it, believe it or not, just like being able to do things on their own. Like they truly enjoy being able to make their own decisions. So I think having their own structure throughout the day and being independent allows them to eventually grow as a person.
The counselors are probably the unsung heroes. The capacity for fun of a college guy to come in to help lead campers. It's like they do things that I could never do at this age. Their sense of humor, their spontaneous approach to the job, their love, and then, their desire to do well. They want to impress me. They want to show me that they can do a good job. Not because they want a recommendation, not so I'll say yes to doing a podcast spot on their college project like I am right now, but because they know the importance of what the kids deserve.
As we come to the end of the episode, I'd like you all to take a moment and think about what the summer camp experience can give to your child. It's not just a place to send them for a few months. It's a magical experience that can lead to profound, lifelong effects. It lets your child have fun all day, and in doing so, discover who they truly are. It exposes them to new experiences and to new people. Along with the fun, camp is also an important step in the road to development for children. It can truly lay the groundwork for responsibility, leadership, structure, and independence. All skills that your child will need in the future. My final words are this: think not what your child will do at summer camp, but what camp will do for your child. I'm Noah Levine, and thanks for listening.